All right, we're now live there. Elgin Lofton. So we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I want to get my brother on here, and we titled this thing "It Ain't Over Till It's Over." And I've been knowing Elgin for a long time, but Elgin, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this intro, then we get into this and get you on your way. I mean, just glad to hear you, just brother. I'm just happy to see you. So I'm gonna play this intro, then we'll get right into it.
That's right.
Oh man. My brother, how you doing over there, Mr. Elgin Lofton? Let's see. How
Hey
you
man,
doing over there?
I'm
All
good. I'm
right.
good.
Welcome to the show, episode 7 of A Real Talk, Real Stories, Real Change with Mr. Elgin Lofton. I had the honor of being with him. In fact, we was in Lompoc back in the day, but in this episode, Elgin and I discussed Real Talk Youth Impact Program and how his background as a former California Crip and repping his set. I'll let you explain that to you because I mean some of my guys they really when they watch this on the replay, it was a thing back in those days, and some of us is still in that life, but how we're gonna go over how the only thing keeping him from his being a full-fledged was actually his parents, and how his father kept him involved in sports. You mean, and I had the honor of watching him play some football at some point in time when we used to play flag football in the yard over there. But he was also everything. He was involved. He was all everything in football, and ended up here in Vegas, where he was a student selling everything and anything to also students back in there, where he can explain to our viewers watching this on the replay. And then he moved on to bigger things and really got busted with some real weight at one point in his life. And in back in 2002, he was arrested and was handed a 188-month sentence. And we all know about those triple digit sentences. But since then, he's changed everything around. And I'll let him explain what he's been accomplishing through this turmoil, ordeal, and everything else. But Elgin, so happy to have you on the show. I'm so happy to have you with Real Talk. Actually, when I was so shocked to see you sitting over there when you recognized me, and it was so shocking because I didn't have my long hair, and I lost about 20, 30 pounds. But welcome to the show. Give us a little about yourself there, Mr. Elgin.
Hey man. I appreciate. First and foremost, I first and foremost want to give all praises to my personal Lord and risen Savior Jesus Christ, who I put
Amen.
all my faith into, and who has gotten me to this point, and I'm gonna continue to put my faith in Him. Uh,
Absolutely.
yes, sir. I guess if I rewind it all the way back to a youngster, I was born and raised in Gardena, California. In my particular neighborhood, it's Shotgun Crip. We say SGC. I lived off 132nd. As far as the whole gang banging, you know, all my homies were gang banging. I quite couldn't fully get all the way into it because I was fortunate. I was one of the few that had two. A lot of the homies didn't have two parent homes, and they pretty much got lost all the way into it because you waited, and a lot of things that I decided not to do, I didn't do because I feared the hell out of my pops, and so
Right.
right, I fear pops like crazy, and times when pops was out of town, like the difference between our moms and the pops is I would do the addition. I was like, okay, if I do this, okay, mom's a hitter son, but shit, I ain't that ain't bothering me. I dust that off, and then I'd be like, damn, but pops would tear some ass up, and I would just weigh it. So in essence, I always rep my set, but I didn't fully gang bang because you had to rep it. You born and raised in the '70s and '80s, where you had to rep it always.
Right.
So yeah, but one side of the gang banging life that I did like was the selling the weed. Was the selling of the weed.
Oh,
I used to
okay.
I used to see the big homies, and
Right.
big homies, you'll see, they'd be cripping and they blue khakis and everything. and they were selling little weed though. And I had a big homie on my street. You know, his name was Devil, and he had a little brother named Boosie. And Dad one day he had a bottle. He had a bottle of dollar bills in his old English 40, and that just I was like, wow, you know how you get that
So how
like
old were
that?
you at this time?
I was well when I first saw that I was in middle school.
Right, 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 right,
I might have been seven. I might have been in seventh grade. I might have when I saw that, and I
right.
said, oh, okay, okay. So you know, from there, it got to the point where I was, I was, I was trusted with you know, the little nickel bag
Yeah,
here and
yeah, yeah,
there,
yeah. You
you
started
know,
out, you know.
here and there. But I stayed on that level. I just kind of like stayed on level, you know, because you know, we was put it this way, we weren't rich, but we weren't dirt poor.
Right,
But
okay.
right, but at the same time, we everyone on our block had the same thing. So you really didn't know what social class you was in. You
Everybody's
know,
doing their thing, right?
right. But when I got in high school, I realized that you know, damn, we wasn't that good after all.
So let me ask you this, Elgin. So I had Elgin. I've been knowing Elgin at least over 10 years now. All right. So I told him before the show we had him. He owed me write a little bio so I could introduce him, but I just wanted to put in there, he's also an interventionist right now because he's working with the youth in the Las Vegas area right now, working with kids, adults, and parents, and that his background actually gives him the authority to relate to these kids and everything. And that's what's so important about the Real Talk program and getting these guys in here to talk to, because let's face it, no kid, no parent, nobody that you're trying to help is just going to talk to some counselor that doesn't have nothing to know about the streets like we do. You mean? But since then, Elgin has gotten his bachelor's degree at UNLV, and he's currently working on his master's. And I applaud him for doing that. I try to bring a lot of people that's, it's about real stories, real change, and moving into a different era. And he's currently working with other youth besides the program because that's where his heart came in, and that's where he dove into. Let me ask you this, Elgin. At what point in your career, in your prison term, did you decide that you needed to make a change and work with youth, just like how I had my epiphany also?
I guess there was a couple parts. The first time I knew it had to be a change was the day I got sentenced.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it
Yesterday.
like my baptism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my marriage date. I remember it like that because I'm sitting here and my family's back there, and the judge says, United States of America versus, and
Oh,
then it hits you with, well, we're giving you 188 months, and I sit
you
back and I looked at
can't
my
even compute
mom.
it.
Right, right. Well, instantly, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with you, I almost shitted on myself when he
Right?
said that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I almost did, and then I look back at my mom, and poor my mom, she counted on her fingers like, okay,
Yeah, you
12,
can't even count
24,
on the
36,
fingers.
38, 40, and that's instantly right there. I knew something had to change right there the way everybody was looking because I didn't really understand the totality of it at the moment, and I'm seeing they got it 100%. My whole family their backs just fell out them, and that was like the beginning of things. And then instantly when I got in prison, I felt that calling in my life, and I knew there needed to be some changes. But that changes it started with me. And
Right.
then once I was able to change my life completely, I knew that the only way that I would be able to forgive myself is
Mm,
first
mm.
get myself right. But then I knew I had to play a part. And my playing a part was, as I said, when I get out, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree, and then I'm gonna get my master's. Then I'm gonna get my master's degree. I'm in the process of getting that now. But the main thing about the master's degree, it allows me because you can come out and you can be a speaker, but you
Yep.
really can't take it to the level you want to take it without them credentials.
Right, 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 right.
So you got and I'm not really a big proponent of the credentials, but I do understand that's necessary. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm able to talk not just with the youngsters, but actually, mainly with the youngsters, but
Right.
actually with the adults too. I want to work with the brothers who when getting out, who's done a long bid, because
Mm-hmm.
when you get out that penitentiary, man, I'm not a cursor, but sometimes you have to speak to people's language. And when you
Mm-hmm.
first get out, you're so fucked if you done a long sentence. You're prejudiced, you got hatred. The system is built for each race to not like one another, because so that's how COs and that's how they can stay in control. If they have us liking each other, we got the numbers.
Right.
So
Right.
you get out, and I get out, and I'm saying to myself, I'm a Christian and I love the Lord, but I'm still saying like I'm institutionalized in the same way. And so when I got out, it was important for me. I met some right people who I talk with, even had a therapist to kind of get me right. And I think
Mm-hmm.
everyone needs that. And when they get out, because you're gonna have some issues when you get out. First you gotta get the driver's license. It's just things that you gotta
Oh,
get.
the small things that
Small.
you need that you actually doesn't even they don't even prepare for that because that's what you're talking about, and I understand because you know, Elgin Dream is he's currently working on getting a contract with the government to make it mandatory or at least be in a position where he can actually talk to these guys, talk to guys like us that's coming out, been down for a long time, 10, 15, 20 plus years, and they need a little help because even like for me, I was teaching interview class at the Las Vegas Rescue Mission for drug addicts, this and people, and I extended my counseling because, like you said, I needed it. I
Right.
seriously needed it because I mean, it's like it is. You don't know where to go when you're trying to put everything back together, and at the same time, you're actually trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills, where you're going to stay, and all this other stuff. And I mean, I applaud you because I'm going to be right there with you every step of the way because well, I know the emotional toll. I know the psychological toll it takes on you. You mean I know everything, even though because it seems like I have it all together, but I took steps to get there, and I had to think really fast. If not,
Right. Right.
it's like I got a headache riding the bus from the halfway house. I got a headache. In fact, I almost got hit by a car because I forgot about traffic. Those are the things that people don't talk about that understand that we go through, and it's one of those things that that you want to help fellow. That's why I'm doing this. Not It's not just to help the kids. Yeah, it's a good part. We help parents, we help ex-felons because it gives us a platform to help other people coming out like us, especially like that. The reason why I didn't do one last week was because everything was going on and it was really touchy. I didn't want to like cross over some toes with everything going on with what's going on in the politics and stuff. But let me ask you this, Elgin. Besides working on your dream, what are you doing currently right now to fulfill all that?
Uh, Basically, right now I'm putting in the hours.
Right.
I'm working with the youngsters, man,
Yeah.
and that's key.
Mm-hmm.
When when I hit Sharia and I hit her up out the blue, I saw her in church one day. I already did a little bit of my homework, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw her.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to the same church,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, we go to the same. Shout out to Mountaintop. Shout out to Mountaintop.
Okay.
Okay, and so we actually finished. We actually were. I was an athlete while she was an athlete at UNLV at the same time, also. And I just hit her up, and then I told her. She was like, okay. And she wanted to see. I guess she wanted to see how serious I was a little bit. So we met up and we just kind of like talked a little bit. But the important thing to me is that being able to catch the youngsters at a point before it really pops off. You know,
Right.
right right now the youngsters, which they don't know, they think they're getting off. They think they're getting off on little things that they do, but they don't know they building that jacket. So when they finally do something wrong, they got a criminal history,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they
Yep.
not knowing that. They not
Yep.
knowing that. Oh, and they feel like telling homies, oh yeah, I got off, homie, I got off, homie. But it's not really. You was just building that jacket up. So when you finally did something, you got that criminal history. You're not starting off at level one. You're starting off at 3 and 4,
Two and
and
three, 4. Yep.
right, and then instead of having 2 years, you starting off with the 10 mandatory. And so the
Right.
things
Right.
things the youngsters need, things the youngsters need to know. I know it's difficult a lot of times growing up in that single parent home, because you don't, you want to test. You'll test moms. You won't test so much the
Oh,
pops, and
absolutely.
and a lot of our fathers are not around though. So I think it's important for us to play our part. So yeah, I'm putting countless hours, and I have no problem emptying myself. It's important to be able to empty yourself
Oh,
to nothing, where they know we're like, okay, because people won't open up to you until you empty yourself up to nothing, and then we're like, okay, shit, if that happened to him, I don't mind him. I don't mind talking to him about this. And I realized that. You know
yep.
what I mean? I realized that.
Yep. Yeah, because you seen before this COVID-19 hit, I know you were supposed to speak to the youth at a given time. And one of the main things, because I haven't seen you spoken. That's why I had to get a back. I mean, I've done time with Elgin, right? But I haven't seen him speak with the kids. And like you said, I pour everything out. I mean, I give it to them so raw. I mean, I've seen you in interaction with the parent group that we have with that one time, and Elgin hit some points that some of the parents is like, oh, you mean you come up, because it's good when you come off from different angles, and that's one of the things that we strive to do is catch them young, you know, let the parents know this is what I mean. I'll gladly take their kids, the old me, yeah, I'll gladly take them and use them and throw them away, like I said. But
Right,
then they're like, what when they're Mr. Watt, this and that. But it's like some of the times the parents don't want to hear it, the kids don't want to hear it, and we're here
right,
like we took the test between. We're just right here. It's close to 30 years in incarceration time, not even counting
right,
out paper time.
right, right,
So it's like we know it's like what one of the main guys, one of the main guest speakers, like we took the test with them and we all failed, even though all that bawling and stuff like that. So let me ask you this another question. What made you get involved really with the program and trying to do something on your own besides what you said before?
I well, I knew it was important to me to want to
Hmm.
give back to it as much as I can. That was the
Absolutely.
most. So I kind of went looking a little bit,
Hmm.
mine. It was, it was on my mind, and it finally the opportunity, the doors start opening. I'm a big proponent of opening doors and closed doors. I wasn't always like that. Even if I have a plan, if a door is not open, I take it as God is telling me, okay, continue to prep on it, but not now, not now.
Hmm.
So when I see doors open now, I kind of like move, and when doors are closed, I just sit and wait and stay prepped and stay ready. And so I just kind of like had that continuous feeling of like you can play a part, you can be a major blessing because what happens is we are in a position where again, not I'm in more so a position where I've seen it and I've done it. So I'm on both ends of it now. It's not like
Right.
I'm just not a person
Right.
with some degrees and don't have no, we're a little OG looking at me like this
Right.
motherfucker don't. Who you? You ain't did nothing, homie.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
Right. Right. Right.
So if need be,
Right.
I'll show my rap sheet.
Right. Right. Right.
If
Right. They
need
don't
be.
know because
Okay.
they don't know. They mean
Right.
I had somebody. It's so funny because I had somebody tell me, "What do you know about being a gangster?" I only had to laugh, because it's like I'm like, you have no idea, because if it's like it's so situational, and to know that we've changed,
Right.
but we can always flip a switch, even though
Right.
it's like it's because it's in us and we've done it. Between what you've done, what I've done, we're not even supposed to be here. With
Right.
oh, it's like when I look at it, it has to be a reason why we're still here, or we're not still behind those walls or that fence or in a grave. It's some divine intervention where we're on here for a purpose. And just like you, I decided like there's I stay ready, because when that opportunity came, when how I met Miss Cherie, right? I was doing a talk at the mission, and somebody said, "Hey, you should get in touch with this person. They're doing something with kids, and you'd be perfect for it." And we hit it off. You know what I mean? I've been doing that for a little while now with her, and it's like because of that, I've grown also, and I want the same for you, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Because it goes deeper. It goes deeper than what we're currently in right now. There's always a bigger picture, especially with what's going on right
Right.
now, right? So let me ask you this: what is your specific role with your background? and how are you going to use that to help the parents, the kids, and everything else? How does that in the intertwine?
Well, it's like the major my bachelor's, and everyone laughed at my bachelor's, and I get it because my bachelor's in criminal justice, and everyone laughed like, ha, ha, you're a
No,
criminal man. And so, but the thing about it though, I needed to get a combination of both of them. So
absolutely.
the bachelor's is in criminal justice, and the master's is going to be is in behavior therapist. And
Nice,
right. So
nice.
they come together in a way, and so I can um, when I'm talking to a youngster or I'm talking to a young adult, it's not I'm not taking away from what they're saying or what they're feeling. I'm
Mm-hmm.
100% feeling because that's what you're feeling. I can't take that
Mm-hmm.
away from you.
Mm-hmm.
However, though, my job and my perspective is to show you some different lenses of looking at a particular thing. And
Right.
if I can show you a different way of looking at things and then leave you alone and then let the spirit inside you kind of like tug you and because
Right.
when you're on your own you're gonna be like, okay, the big OG really said something. I didn't really tell him he said something. It made sense. But you'll have your time one on one. So when the time comes, you allow that conviction to come, and then you'll be like, okay, I'm feeling that. This is what it is, though. At the end of the day, though, everyone wants to play a role in being a touchdown. And so you don't necessarily have to have a touchdown when you're dealing with these youngsters. You can just play your role. And then at
Right.
the end of the day, they'll come back and look at it, and either you played the role of being maybe the first person that said something to start waking them up, or you could be the person where it's like with a light switch. Either way, I just want to play my role in this thing. It doesn't have to be the touchdown where like I saved him. You know what I mean? It
No,
could be the beginning
absolutely.
point.
Yeah.
And so we all have a role to play, and that's kind of like where I'm at.
I mean, it's just that's just a beautiful sentiment on how you lay it out because we all have a role to play. It's like being a team and being a family member or whatever, even in your job. And I like the fact that your bachelor's in criminal justice, but you know how much of an asset you have looking at both sides, going
Right,
into
right,
behavioral science, because
right,
you can actually know what, like you said, somebody might gonna be feeling this way, but what's deeper than that that's gonna change their behavior that you can change knowing what you know. In all aspects, you might have you might have a degree in whatever, is master's, a doctorate in behavior science, but if you haven't lived it, you can't tell it.
no
You
doubt.
right?
No,
And then that's something that nobody can take away from us. I mean, and then you're gonna top it off with the cherry on the cake with your degrees and everything else that you put in. There's only big things going to be happening for you later on, and hopefully you can change other people's lives in that process, right?
right,
I
right,
know
right,
that's the main. I mean, if I know you from walking around the yard and I know how you think, I already know you're thinking big, but you
right,
just need to
right,
put it all in place, right?
right. And I would like to add one more thing. Another thing is that the reason people don't understand why prisons, these penitentiaries, are so crazy, and and they just think that a lot of they just think that everyone is just bad. See, but that's not the case. The
Nope.
majority of people in prison that makes it so bad is they all have issues. They are majority of prison of the people in time. They shouldn't even be in a penitentiary. They really need to be in a mental hospital because they are unable to break things down. Where when the issue comes, it's like since we kind of have our minds right, we can kind of like weigh it off and be like, okay, this is happening because of this and this and this. It's no thinking. It's no thinking. It's like it's on and popping.
Right.
So people need, and so you got a majority of these brothers really need to be on medication, and so I can play a role in prescribing that also to someone. Okay, this is what it is. This
Right.
is what that person is. He did 10 years, and really he should have been taking this for every day for 10 years instead of just putting him in a warehouse to just get 10 years off of him, and you can't work on him to get that.
Right. Right. Because even like for me, I'm working on doing some things for us in the future with the grants, what's coming down and stuff, because I'm trying to learn that right now. And I hooked up with somebody that's got 35 years in the business. So it's
Right.
like this way I can push that into our curriculum, helping you, helping us, helping all of us together. Let me ask you another one. Explain to the audience on the replay, since one of your darkest times being arrested or incarcerated, or a story from your past that changed you at that moment? There's always one. There's always one. What is one that you can give? Give me one that so people can relate later on when they listen to this podcast or they're going to be watching on YouTube, because there's always that one, and always there's a lot, but what is one that stands out to you?
I guess it was two. It's actually
Okay.
two. The first one when I first got locked up, uh, I was in Florida at Coleman, at the medium there, and shit popped off.
Right.
And think about it. If you're from LA, you're really not supposed to be
Woo!
going in. If
You
you're
ain't
from,
supposed
you're
to be
not
down
supposed to be
there.
going nowhere East
Yeah.
Coast. You're
Yeah.
not supposed to be nowhere not East Coast. And DC, which I'm just getting into the system, DC had issues with LA boys.
Oh.
Okay, DC had
Oh.
issues with LA boys, and I'm not really knowing what's up at the time. And it's about eight of us there, and it's about 50,
200.
60, about 50 or 60 that
Okay.
who we had to
You had
lock
to
up
go
with.
in. Okay.
Right, right. I just knew I was dead. That was the first one. I came out of that with a broken face.
Okay.
Uh, three. I got three wires up in here that's gonna be in
Mhm.
here for the rest of my life. Uh, but I came out.
Right, 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 right. No holes, no holes in your body? No
No holes
holes?
in my body. No
Okay,
holes in
okay.
my body, man. And so, and then the second one was that I don't well you weren't even there. Was that the riot we had at Lompoc?
Okay, I just left that because we're just supposed to kick that off right before that. I just left. No, in fact, that one when that one happened there, I was in the hole when everybody came in.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
was in the hole already.
Hey man, I just knew that was the second time. I just knew I was dead. Now I got locked up in a situation where it was me and a Muslim brother. We were still in the dorms, and
Oh,
we were
and they
still in the
locked you in?
dorms. And yeah, and then in that whole room it was about 80 pisces up in there.
Oh crap.
I
Oh
just
crap.
knew I just knew I just knew I was dead, and the pisces just gave us a pass, homie. They just gave us a pass. That
Dang.
was bigger. And I'm talking about like all the rest of the brothers that was up in there. I
They
mean,
got it. They
they
nailed
got
you
it.
in that.
They got it. They got it. One brother told me. He said, "Oh man, he said you're a real Christian. You're a real Christian."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He still tore all my shit up, my lockers. But you know what? All that come again. That's
Right,
why
right, right, right,
I got
right.
every. And we learn. We get everything stolen from us today. It don't mean nothing because we can recover.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh, you gotta
recovered,
pass on down. That's how it's like
and I got to
somebody is
pass
looking
on
out
that.
for you because if
No
you
doubt.
locked in that dorm and you stuck, because I seen guys run right under my bed. What? Hide me. Yeah, who would hide you? The door is locked over there, and you got
Right,
60 guys jumping with their black boots coming down.
right, right,
They
right,
will hit you.
right, right, right.
All right, dude. So I mean, even going to skip this question unless you wanna talk about it. How has some of those experiences after change your life right now? How does it propel you into who you became today, Mr. Lofton?
Well, you know what? I, I've come to realize that I'm not in control of my life after all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice,
I
nice.
think I always thought I was in control of my life, but now that I look back at my life, you know, only thing I can do is play my part. I realized that I had no choice in who my parents were going to be, if I was going
Mm-hmm.
to be a boy, if I was going to be a boy or a girl, what country I was going to be born in. You know what I mean? It's so many things I never had no idea, and I'm thinking I'm in control of my whole life. Only thing I'm in control of is today and every decision I make from today on. I look back on my life and the life that I live. I mean, like all the dope I was selling
Right,
to the celebrities, to the athletes. I mean, to call myself,
right.
I was doing out on the streets. I was doing the most. You know
You
what I
was
mean?
like you said, you was out of control.
Man, I was out of control. I think about it now. On the way home, back all from the mid '90s until I got locked up, 94. I mean, that's when it was probably about 20 racks a week from about
Mhm.
'94 to about till I got locked up.
Oh, 20 wax.
And
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I
yeah,
mean,
so
it's
it
like,
was it was easy.
yeah, it's like using the bathroom every day. Yeah.
Right. No, no doubt, no doubt. And I look by it, and I look back at it. I was a mess though, man. I used to go home 100 different ways. I used to park my car a mile away and climb through people's backyards to go home. Just so paranoid.
Yeah,
That life,
this is part of the deal, right? Hey,
man.
I know the feeling. It's like you're gonna park this car over here. You're gonna get your hoopty over there. Park this car over there. Put
Right,
this in the garage over there. Drive your hoopty there and go sneak out in the
right.
back. I mean, you think about like, what the? I mean, I think about the stuff I used to do now. It's like, I mean, hey, dig this. So my mom brought some of my paperwork, right? I had a state case. I completely forgot about one of my gun charges, and I was like, with my Tech Nine back in the 90s, right? Like,
Right, 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 right,
I'm like, I don't even
right,
remember this. That's how burnt out.
right.
All right. Yeah. I mean, this is real talk, real stories, real change. It's just, we're just so blessed. We're one of the few that's blessed that actually learn this technology, moving our lives forward, helping other people move forward because we can talk about this stuff and laugh about it now. But back in the time, I don't know if we cross paths, what would happen? I mean, it's just, it just, we don't know. But it was just so happy that, when we come together for a bigger purpose and a bigger cause and a bigger picture, beautiful things start to happen,
No doubt, no
right?
doubt,
All right.
no doubt.
Where do you see Real Talk program and yourself in the future?
Hey, man, I'm on board. I'm on board with Miss Reed. I'm on board,
Right.
and wherever wherever she lead us, that's we gonna take it.
Right,
That's
right,
where
right.
we know we're blessed. I'm looking at you, and I see, I'm looking at you, and I see all that square footage behind you. Somebody been blessed. You know what
Oh,
I
I'm
mean?
glad. I mean,
I'm
I
blessed.
ain't grumbling.
No doubt. And somebody come to my crib right now, and see all this square footage, and then look in the garage, and they wouldn't think like, he on, I'm still on federal probation. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right, right,
I still got to go in and take a pee,
right,
and then look at folks, and so. And then to look where I'm at now, it only points to God is good. And Scripture tells us, where much is given, more much is given. And
mm-hmm.
so my thing is that if God is going to continue to bless me, we have to play the second part to what it is. I look at it, we're born for two reasons. I look at it, we were born. We're born to worship God, and we're born to be a blessing to others.
Right.
So boom, He's
Yeah.
blessing me, and my job to be a blessing to others, and that's just how I see life now.
Right, right, right. I mean, it's just, that's just one of those things. It's like when you stop to think and realize what you've been through and what you're still here, it's gonna be a fact that it's time to bless others. Give people the chance. You mean give a chance with what we've been through because there's not a lot of people that get to be here in our stage with what we've been through. There's no
Right,
there. I mean, and it's all praise to the man up above because
right,
it's one of those things that that when you really think about, it's like there's only one reason, right? There's only one reason. Whether I'm doing business, I'm doing things. I got some people here that's gonna, see the things, and it's understandable that all the blessings is the more, like you said, the more I empty myself into other people, other things that I do, the more I receive, the more I get. It's never ending, right?
right,
All
right.
right, Mr. Laughlin. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you before we close out. What message would you like to tell the parents of any youth, or that we try to change? We address some of the parents that you see from working
Right.
with you that up there at where you at right now? The Charleston youth detention, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. I mean, because half the problem is parents. What would you tell? And half the problem is kids, and the situations going on. What would you tell the parents?
Uh, I guess the thing I would tell a parent is that you brought a child into the world and you have 18 years. You know, give them your all to 18 years. When that 18 years is over with, you know you can do that. But you give them that 18 years and play your part, regardless of how they are or what they're being. A lot of times when a child, somebody might say it's a bad child. We know how DNA runs. He either got some of that attitude from mama or daddy. You know, so when they say he got, who he got all that from? He got it from you or daddy. It's one
Right.
of y'all. So just give it your all and love him for 18 years and don't give up on him. Then
Never.
when that
Never.
time is up, and let's say the worst thing happened, you can walk away and be like, I gave my all.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
you can be okay with giving your all.
Right.
But if you have to go back and reflect and be like, I should have did that different. I should have did that different. And then if you got to play that, that's gonna bother you for some time.
Right, right, right. I mean, yeah, it's just part of the deal. You're like even like with my situation right now, I got a new son, new wife, new everything, and a lot of people is telling me, Gordon, you used to be a hustler and you used to make money, and I still can do it, but my time, which is more valuable than anything right now, is to giving my attention to whatever I can because I missed everything before. I've been incarcerated for half my life. So it's like
Right.
I was given a second chance, a third chance to make it right this time. And all money's not good money. All right. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being with us this week. I mean, hey, I got somebody over here that want to interview you two for their show right now. And he's a businessman. If you have any
Okay.
if
Okay.
you have someone that needs to hear this message or wants to be part of our program, reach out to Mr. Lofton, Mr. Elgin Lofton, and myself, or head on over to Real Talk YIP.org, or reach out to Mr. Laughlin and myself. So I'm going to play this at the end, and we'll see you on the next show for the next one. All right.